All right, I'm guessing that this thing is actually recording here. So we want to turn absolute torr into gauge pressure PSI, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn torr to PSI, okay? Okay, and the way you convert any pressure is you're gonna make it into an atmosphere first. So 1340 torr is actually more than 1 atmosphere, right? Because 1 atmosphere in torr is 760. So this will be almost, what, close to 2 atmospheres, right? So the rule here is you divide, if I give you torr, then you divide by 1 torr in atmosphere. If I give you PSI, divide by 1 PSI in whatever that is for an atmosphere, right? Okay. And this will give me atmospheres. And then I'm going to multiply by the units I want, which is 14.7. Right, and this is per atmosphere. This is PSI per atmosphere. And then you can see that the atmospheres goes away and we end up with torr. So 1340 divided by 760 times 14.7. And then the absolute pressure is 25.9 PSI, and this is absolute, right? And then, but they want gauge pressure, right? Okay, and so the relationship there is that absolute is gauge plus an atmosphere, right? So absolute is gauge. How do you spell gauge? Plus 1 atmosphere. Okay, so the 25.9 PSI is equal to the gauge that we want to find, right? Plus 1 atmosphere. And don't make it a 1, right? You want to use an atmosphere in PSI, right? So 14.7 PSI, right? And then you'll see what we want to do. I guess subtract 14.7. So I go minus 14.7, and I get 11.2, right? So the gauge pressure is 11.2 PSI. And remember, gauge pressure means that's how much it is above 1 atmosphere. Okay. Yeah. Because if the tire is flat, it'll read 0 PSI, but of course there's still an atmosphere in there, right? There's still quite a lot of pressure. It's just not more than the outside, right?